So hi guys, I'm Anamika and we have Aryana today on Between Us, and so excited to have you here, Aryana, today. We also went to the same school.
Yes.
So what was your school experience like?
Oh, well, first of all, I'll just say it's so nice to be here. I think we've obviously known each other for so long, and it's so crazy that like you're doing this, I've been doing this for a while. It's like, I think it's so crazy that you're doing this because you were not like this outspoken talker in school at all.
Yeah.
Like you were a fully different girl.
Yeah, absolutely.
You were so shy, I feel like. And I will say I was also really shy in school. And I was definitely like, no one would have guessed that, oh, this girl is gonna like be a chatter or whatever.
But I used to chat at home. You know, the funny thing is I used to chat at home, but in school I was very conscious. Like I hated school.
Yeah, I think in school we were all like, you know what I think about school? That everyone in school is like put into these boxes. Like, oh, you're the smart one, you're the funny one, you're the like dancer, you're the whatever. And then you're just like, those roles will be set when you're really young, and then it'll carry on throughout your whole school
Absolutely,
experience.
and that's the worst because you can't change that image that anyone has of you at that point at least. I personally, Aryana, hated school. Like I every morning used to be like, I'm having a stomachache, I'm having fever because I didn't like school. But I remember you were pretty like
I honestly
fun
I feel
in school.
like I enjoyed school. I didn't hate it at all. Like I thought it was like, I really liked it. But I will say that I had these moments also, like, you know, where you feel like anxious or like lonely or like whatever it is. I'm sure everyone goes through it though. So I think it's quite normal for like school vibes. But yeah. I'm so glad to see you like doing this, and I'm so glad to see you like thriving in this way.
Yeah,
I think it's really
Thank you. And Aryana, we've all obviously seen your podcast. Having said that, and I think it's so fun, like after a really boring day, you know, to turn it on and just watch you guys talk about life and relationships and your work and all of that. So through your podcast, have you ever received like any sort of creepy DMs or anything weird that's happened to you in person when you're stepping out?
Honestly, I don't think I've got any like super creepy DMs. I feel like people just like text me super randomly. Like they'll see something on the podcast, and you know when people think that they know you, if a reel goes super viral and they see you all the time, they'll like text you something about some random episode they've watched, and they'll be like, hey, you spoke about this place in London. Like I just went there and it was amazing. And I'll be like,
that's really weird. Okay.
Like, cool. Like, thanks for sharing. But like, it's obviously been months since we like filmed or it's been out. So it was just like,
Do you ever reply to any of these DMs?
I reply to some of them, honestly. Like, if it's just someone asking me for like a recommendation. Like this year I went to New York like 3 different times.
I saw your New York reel. It looked amazing.
I love New York, and I went there 3 times because basically I'm in a long distance relationship and my boyfriend lives there, so I'm literally traveling there every month. But so he takes me to all these really nice places, so I feel like I know everything about New York. So if someone's like, hey, can I get a New York recommendation, I'm like sending them my long list of like 50 places.
Absolutely.
And like everything. So if they want like a recommendation, even like for Bombay restaurants and stuff, I have people always texting me saying like, hey, what restaurant is good for like a birthday bring in and all. So I'm always like giving them recommendations. But I think if it's obviously like, oh, whatever, some like meanish thing or like a random man, like I'm not texting back.
You're not texting back, So I think New York, when I also visited New York, I felt like it would be such a dreamy city to actually date someone there.
It is. You know, it's a great city to be in love, but then I realized that any city with someone you love is like a great city to be in.
It's a great city to be in. I agree with that.
Like, even when my boyfriend is here in Bombay, like, we go for drives, we like eat, you know, it's like
It's
fun.
all about the company and all
Literally, it's all about the company, and we are big eaters. So there's food everywhere and we just enjoy eating.
Your New York reel had so many pizza places. I think I'd gone to one in Soho when I was there. You know the one where that they have that picture put with this guy saying, I can make you a pizza. I'm forgetting the name of the place, somewhere in Soho. But great pizzas, and they have that pizza slice or whatever. But New York has so many good places.
Yeah, it's so good, and I think especially for food, it's amazing. But like, yeah, you say, what is your favorite like holiday been?
I think London for me feels like home because I was there for a bit.
You studied there?
I studied there for a bit. I did a short
Amazing.
course, and I think London, of course, because you've lived there, you know all the corners, you know the routes, you know the tubes. So it's very convenient. It feels like home. I don't even mind spending like 2 solo days there, just reading.
Are you a solo travel person?
I'm not a solo travel person. Like, at least a part of my trip has to be with someone.
Yeah.
A friend or whatever. But though sometimes like 1 or 2 days, I enjoy reading. So I'll randomly go to Hyde Park and I'm reading.
I love that.
I'll go to a coffee shop and I'm just sitting and people watching. I don't mind doing stuff like that.
Bro, God bless. I feel like I'm definitely not a solo trip person
not
at all. I can be alone for like a day, but I think that's it. Like I need to go home to someone, spend time with someone. Yeah. I can't be alone. Like if I was alone in a city, I would just be in my hotel room, like
and that gets
out,
too depressing.
But I couldn't like go out. I feel I'm too like even when I go to New York, like my brain is off. Like I don't know how to navigate the subway. I don't know how to like map to places. Like I
enjoy all of that, like mapping to places. In London sometimes I can walk about 45 to 50 minutes to a location just mapping it with music on,
because they're such walkable cities.
They're walkable cities. I wish in Bombay we could like, you can walk of course, but I feel like it doesn't have that charm that maybe like New York, London.
But I feel like for me walking alone in a strange, like in a new city is like not that appealing for me.
I love it,
but I like walking in Bombay. I love it. Not that it's that walkable, I feel.
It's not walkable.
But I enjoy it because I know it, so I don't have to like constantly look at maps or whatever, and I know people, so I feel like I always see someone I know or see something that reminds me of something.
Okay, so Aryana, do you get approached by people in Bombay now when you're heading out?
I do sometimes, but it's very fun, honestly, how they reach out to me. Basically, because HST is like a show where it's like a group of friends hanging out, whenever they see me, they like just see me as a friend. So how they approach me is also like a friend. It's not like how I would approach Taylor Swift, where I would be like, oh my god, I love you so much. It's very like casual. It's very chill. They literally just be like, oh hi, and I'll be like, hi, how are you? And like that's like basically the nature of those meetups, which is really fun.
And out of all the boys that you shoot with, who's like your favorite?
I can't choose a favorite. They're all fun. They're all so sweet. And obviously, like this job of being on a podcast is my favorite job ever. Like it's just talking, yapping, and it's like so friend. Like it's so like friend focused. So it's like literally like the podcast is like hanging out with your friends. So we film twice a week. Those hangouts twice a week are literally like me just going to meet my friends. So that's like the vibe. So it's always fun. It doesn't feel like work. So really lucky.
What was your idea when you guys started having said that?
So basically the 4 guys, they had started it. They had it on for like 8 months basically. And I was working out at Jay's gym. So Jay has a gym.
Okay.
And at that time it was in my building. And he used to train me. And I was training at the gym, and I would get the reels and stuff on my Instagram of their podcast, and I would always be like giving him unsolicited, unasked for feedback,
which
and
is
like
so cute,
advice. And I'd just be like, that guest was amazing. That was boring. You shouldn't have spoken about this. You should talk about this. And he was like, okay, thanks. No one asked. So I was like, okay, cool. And then they were looking for like a I think they were just looking for like a female voice on the show.
I think female energy really helps.
Especially when the audience is so female. I think it helps to have someone representing them, I guess, on screen. So, so that's why they wanted like a girl on the show, basically. And Jay kind of suggested my name. And they reached out, and I was like, yeah, cool, I would love to do it.
Yeah, I'm in.
And it was so much fun. And honestly, when we started, I don't think any of us were expecting it to grow as much or be as big as it is. So it's super unexpected and super crazy, like the growth of the show. But it's just been amazing. Like, I just wanted to be on a podcast. Like, in COVID, in life, like, I've just watched so many YouTubers.
Same.
And so many, like, podcasts and things. So I was like, this is my dream to be on it. And what a thrill to like be on a show where I don't have to like manage any of the like production or crew or
you
like
just have
anything.
to show up.
I literally just have to show up and chat.
Which is the best thing.
Literally.
And is there ever a point where you end up shooting something and then you feel like you're going to get trolled for it and then you cut it?
Not really. We try to keep it as like authentic as possible.
Yeah.
So there's not anything really cut. Obviously, if we say something and we're like, hey, we're not comfortable with this being on the internet, then we take it down.
But
or
does
like
that
we
happen?
cut it out.
A lot?
I'm sure it's happened. It has happened. But also there's been moments where I've said things that I should not have said or I didn't believe, and those things have been left in the episode and it's like blown up and it's become a big thing, you know. So both things are true.
Do you ever hate, like, have you ever read like comments where people are trolling you and feel bad about it or feel like, oh shoot, maybe I shouldn't have said that on camera?
Yeah, 100%. Like I've been through that honestly multiple times, and people in our comments like definitely call us out and they're like, hey Aryana, that was super insensitive, or you know, you shouldn't have said that. And honestly, you just have to take the feedback. If they're coming from a good place of like, hey, this is why this was wrong, then cool, you take in that feedback. And sometimes it can also be something that you said that was misunderstood by your audience, and that's also something I guess you just have to deal with. And honestly, you can't take like the good and the bad like too seriously, you know. People will like be talking to you, they'll be like telling you all these like great things about yourself, like, oh, we love you, we think you're amazing, you're the best. You can't let that get to your head. And also when people say, oh, you're the worst person, you shouldn't be allowed to be on the internet, you shouldn't be allowed to talk, you can't take that also seriously, because at the end of the day, people like who are watching you, I know they're watching you for like an hour at a time, right? And we upload 2 episodes of the podcast. I have like my YouTube channel and stuff like that as well. So they're seeing maybe like 3 hours of you in a week, if they're watching everything you're putting out.
You can't be politically correct all the time when you have a free-flowing conversation.
I feel like it's not even about being politically correct. It's like when you put out a video like this one, or an Instagram video or picture or whatever, it is just a part of your day, right? I'm sure you've had those experiences where you've like been out, for example, for a dinner with your family, taken a really cute pic, posted that on Instagram, but at that same dinner you've gotten in a fight with your sister or something.
Absolutely. I feel like Instagram is the biggest lie.
It's really the biggest lie.
It is really the biggest lie.
And it really like plays on your mind, because even though you know that, okay, my life is not perfect, but if you look at my Instagram, it looks perfect.
Absolutely.
When you look at someone else's Instagram, it's so easy to like fool yourself into believing that, yeah, oh my god, this person
all
has
of
the
these like
perfect life,
grand
the perfect
proposals.
job.
I feel like also like our generation, we are not living in the moment. We just want that perfect picture.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of my friends, they have like these perfect proposals on their Instagram, and they're having these crazy like travel plans and all of that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's a very small part, and they have 1,000 other things going on in the background.
100%.
So I feel like people get fooled sometimes by seeing people's Instagrams and thinking that that's like their real life and entire life.
Yeah, 100%. And it's so easy to do. So like right now I'm like trying to stay off Instagram as much as possible. Like even though it's my job and I have to be on it, as much as I can, I try and like take time off. I got this app that like locks it. So because I realized that there were so many times where I was just going on Instagram, like out of habit, like
And
I didn't
it
even have
drains
to
you.
go on it. Yeah.
If you're constantly seeing content and you're lying down and you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, sometimes you're an hour up and you're like, I've just wasted 1 hour. I could be doing so many other things with my life.
Literally.
Absolutely.
Like literally, I'll like be on Insta, I'll be scrolling, it'll be 5 p.m. and then I'll like look up and it's like 8 p.m. And it's like where this time has gone in my phone is crazy.
I think it's somehow very addictive.
It's
the scrolling is very addictive.
Of course, and they make it that way. Like there was this thing of Mark Zuckerberg who said that they literally have a program on Instagram where they like feed you content that will make you more anxious. So, they literally like feed you content that makes you more anxious, so that you're constantly just scrolling. And there was also this thing that he said in his like deposition or something, where he was basically saying that Facebook had this feature or this back-end feature where they would see when a girl posted a picture and then deleted it, and then target her for beauty ads because they would guess from that action that she was insecure about herself.
Oh my god, okay.
So they are really like targeting
It's
us.
scary, yeah.
Yeah, and they like see everything that you're doing on your page, right? Everything whoever you're interacting with, whoever you're like looking up, whoever you're jealous of, insecure about, they know because of like all this data they have, and they like fully use it against you and to like exploit us.
Yeah,
basically.
my brother was saying the same thing the other day, that you have your phone lying. And it's actually hearing every conversation that you have.
100%.
And I was like, don't you think that's a little far-fetched? And then he's like, no, but like look at Siri and ChatGPT. And just like ChatGPT, there used to be an app in the UK. And when they wanted to shut it down, it basically started having a mind of its own and saying like, please don't shut me down.
No way.
So these things are a little scary in the sense that you're giving too much leeway to like technology. And at the end of the day, it's still technology.
100%.
So,
I think everything in like moderation is perfect.
Yeah.
Like definitely don't use it in moderation. I'm like on my own trip.
Same.
Honestly.
I use my phone way too much.
Yeah. I use it too. Like my screen time is like bad. Like it's embarrassing.
Same.
But then I excuse it by saying like, oh, my job is here, long distance FaceTimes and all.
So Aryana, since you're in a long distance, I would love to know, how did you meet your boyfriend?
Honestly, we just met on Hinge.
And that's surprising that Hinge works.
Honestly, like it's hit or miss, but it's a good way, I would say, to like see people. But I was on Hinge for so long, honestly, and like I've been on like these dating apps.
Can you tell me about these dates that you went on? If you don't mind.
Honestly, like I met a lot of guys, I spoke to a lot of guys on these apps, but I only met, I think in like the 5 years on and off that I was on these apps, I only have met like maybe like 4 or 5 people.
That's less. That's really
it's
less.
It's very less. It's only because like I'm damn like picky, or like the smallest thing would put me off someone.
I'm also very picky. It's an issue.
Yeah, and the way like dating apps are actually not ideal, because you know when you meet someone in person and like for example like they'll have a mole on their face, for example, and you're like, yuck, I hate that mole. And you're talking to them and you'll be like, and then you'll get to know them and they'll like, you'll get into this amazing conversation and you'll forget about this dumb mole, like you won't care.
Yeah.
But when you are swiping on like these dating apps, what happens is that you keep seeing like these people and you'll be like, oh, he has a mole, I don't want it. Oh, he said this dumb thing in his like prompt, I don't want it. And you like be rejecting these people over these like silly, stupid things. And it's like, I'm obviously not perfect. Like I've said dumb things in my life. I've obviously taken a bad pic and thought it was good or whatever. And so if people were judging me for those like mistakes that I made,
but boys are no less. They're judging us too about almost everything.
Bro,
so
boys are their own space. Like I don't even understand men. Like I wish I understood them. I don't. And like literally, we went to all girls school.
Then I went to an all girls school, which has also screwed it up a little bit, I feel.
It 100% did. And then it only got worse for me because then I went to Jai Hind College for 5 years and I studied arts.
So again, there was only girls.
It was all girls, yeah.
Oh
literally.
my god, that's.
And then all my jobs have always been in this like beauty and entertainment space.
Again, women.
Literally. So like for 5 years of my working, I've only had like women. And like I feel like I only interacted with a man like so much later in my life that I was like, who are you? Like what are you? You know what I mean?
And they care also less about things. I feel like when as women we talk about something, you know, we're so passionate and enthusiastic and we're like, you know, this happened in my day, and you'll ask them and they're just like, oh yeah, my day was fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but come on, tell me more. Tell me more.
You have to dig a lot.
Yeah, you have to dig a lot.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you're so right about that.
But the dates that you went on off Hinge, were you scared because you don't know anything about the person?
So, I would only go on dates with people I had some sort of mutual with. Or like, so you know when you follow them on Instagram, you see like people you know who follow them. I would like try and make sure that that was the case. And I think the 1 or 2 times where there was no one in common, I would obviously just go for like lunch or something like in super
Something in
public
the day
place.
in a public place.
Yeah, I would just do that. So that, and also you can do like drinks or like coffee, which are short-term things. So like
if it's not good, you can get up and leave after some time.
So like coffee, max you'll have to be there for like 40 minutes, an hour if you don't want to be, you know. So
because sometimes in the first 15 minutes, you know, I don't want to talk to this person anymore.
Yeah. Then commitment of a dinner or like a
no, but
lunch
then the
is a
people
lot.
pleasing in me will still sit for the
No,
hour
that's
and
so
a half.
fair. And honestly, even I'm fully that type. Once a guy like I met super early on, when I was like 22 or something, and he picked me up from my house and we went for this drive. And I was like, cool, a drive is like a fun, like easy way to get to know someone.
And it's not like you have to get ready. I hate like fine dine sort of dinner.
Yeah, for
where
sure.
the waiter keeps coming and he's like, you know, how's the food? And I'm like, I barely know the person and you're like interrupting me in the middle and this is getting more awkward than it already is.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But yes, I went on this drive with this guy and then he was like, hey, I'm really hungry. Can we go for like, can I get dinner?
Or whatever, yeah.
And then I had already eaten dinner. So I was like, okay, but I've eaten. So he was like, okay, just like come, give me company.
Yeah.
So then we went to this random restaurant and I just watched him eat. And he was just eating his food and I was watching him.
But did he talk to you while he was eating?
He was obviously talking to me, but I feel like it wasn't the right vibe, it wasn't the mood. And I was like, okay, I want to go home. So those types of dates also
Our
have
parents'
happened.
generation was so much easier. I feel like grandparents and parents, I feel like they met people, they didn't have a lot of like, okay, I want to be intellectually compatible with this person and this person has to be like, you know, speaking a certain way and has to be dressed a certain way and all of that. But I feel like our generation, because also we are meeting so many people and we're out there so much more, that I also feel like our bar is set really high and that only makes it harder.
Yeah, I think also it's a lot of, I think what you're saying about like parents and grandparents, I think they had a goal like, okay, we want to be married because of whatever pressures or whatever it was. And so they found the person who served them the best, right? Like, okay, you have a good family, okay, you have like a college degree,
financially stable, educated.
Okay, fine. So you're checking these boxes and like now we can be together. And I think in our parents' generation, it was just like you made a decision and now you like stick with it. Like, you know, there wasn't this thing of like breakups and divorce and stuff like that. Although today only my mom was telling me like, you know, relationships, like I've had so many boyfriends and this and that, and I was like, okay, good for you, like whatever, I need to show off, you know.
Yeah, my mom, I think, is absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
But because she's from Agra, I don't know if it's from, I'm sure people in Agra date, but she always says that she has never dated anyone. And I'm always a little confused looking at her. I'm like, is that really possible? And I'm always digging. I'm like, Mom, are you sure you didn't date anyone? Are you sure? And she's like, no, I went to a girls' school.
Yeah.
She went to a girls' college also.
Insane.
So like there were barely any men that they probably knew.
And then she met your dad.
And then she met my dad and got married. But she got married late. Like she got married at 30.
Oh.
So I'm like, if at that time you got married at 30.
That's so interesting. She's for sure had some chakkas with some.
100%. we should dig on this like after. But yeah, your mom was from Bombay itself?
No, she actually grew up in, there's this small town in Madhya Pradesh called Katni.
Okay.
So she grew up there. It's like right next to Jabalpur and she studied in Nagpur. So she like grew up there and then she was like helping in her family business and stuff like that. And then her sister was in Bombay who got married here and stuff like that. So she would come here all the time and I think then she met my dad through this arranged marriage scene.
route.
And then
What
she
do you
was like,
think
cool, let's get married.
about this arranged marriage route? Would you ever?
Honestly, I think arranged marriage, at least in like our modern like day, at least what I've seen, is very chill. It's like your parents are just setting you up with someone, but you don't have to obviously marry them if you don't want to.
But you're also Parsi, no, Aryana? Parsis are innately very chill.
Yeah, I know, but even I'm not saying that I've been put in this circle ever, but like my friends who I've seen who've been in this arranged marriage situation, they like their parents or family members will be like, okay, hey, there's this really nice boy or really nice girl, you should like go out with them, like just go for coffee or go for dinner or whatever. The kids go out and then if they don't vibe, then they say no thanks, and if they vibe, obviously they date longer and
Yeah, at least like
obviously
6-7
their
months.
dating period is much shorter and then they get married. But also then all the other things are checked, right? Like, you know, okay, family is good, this is good, that is good, and
education
then it's
is
come
good,
with you
etc.
post all of that. So you just have to see like, hey, am I getting along with this person? So I think that way it's like fine if it's that chill way. But what are your thoughts on arranged marriage and all?
I mean, I think it is definitely a nice way to meet people because a lot of your checklist is already tick marked.
Yeah.
So now you don't have to sit and figure, does the family work?
Yeah.
But I feel like even after that, sometimes I feel like you still need to deep dive into it more because you really don't know how someone's family actually is. Like someone on paper may be great, but when you meet them in person, you may just be put off. You may just be like either they're too arrogant, or they just don't, like you can't find what you're looking for in them easily. So then you just say no, obviously, and you move on. But these days are obviously very awkward because your family is involved, their family is involved, and then after the date you'll probably be asked, you know, by everyone like, how was it? What did you all talk about? And you're like, no, I don't really want to tell you, you know. So that's one thing. On your first date with the guy that you're dating now, where did you guys end up going?
We went drive. We just went for a drive. He picked me up from Bandra and we drove to like South Bombay and we went on the Sea Link and just spoke and spoke and spoke. And it was really fun and super chill. But this was like a few years ago and then he moved to New York, so we didn't really get like, we just like stayed in touch as friends. We didn't really date. And then recently he came back like, I feel like in December, Jan, and that's when we like kind of started dating again.
Or like long distance hard?
Again. It's so hard and it's really bad, and I feel like only do it if you're so like comfortable and sure about what you want to do and like what you're getting into. But like I feel like I wouldn't tell anyone not to do it. But I would say just be like really careful.
But the person really has to be worth it to do long distance because I feel like you'll go through way more ups and downs than you would if the person was in the same city.
No, 100%. Like it's so much easier to have someone in person with you than have them be like away from you. Because even if you have fights, it's a lot worse because you're not there.
You can't just go and hug the person and be like, listen, I'm sorry.
Literally.
You know, go and stand under their building and be like, listen, I'm sorry. You know, they're so far.
There's like time difference is a big thing because we're Bombay and New York. So it's like my morning is his night. You know, it's like, so it's the oddest times that you're speaking. And I think the worst part is in any long distance relationship, even if you're in the same country and time zone, it's that I think sometimes your partner feels that they're just watching your life.
Yeah, they're not a part of it. Like you're not chilling with their friends, you're not like, you feel like they're leading a different life, you're leading a different life and you're a part of their life, but you're not really a part of like the entire life.
100%. And I think that is like the hardest thing about long distance. But honestly, if you have like an end date in your mind, like okay fine, it's ending on July 31st, then I think it's easier because you know like okay, this is ending, we're gonna be together. But if that's not, then it's indefinite, I would not do it.
You would not do it. Yeah, I think I'm also I like meeting people in person, I like talking in person, so for someone like me, I think long distance would be extremely hard.
Yeah.
Because I'm the kind of person I want to meet the person every day.
Yeah.
Like as clingy as this sounds, I would love to meet the person every day, even if it's like half an hour in the day.
Bro, literally if you like someone, like when you're going through that, when you love them, you just want to be with them all the time.
And you don't mind simping also at that point,
bro,
you know, and being
I'm like the biggest simp. I'm the biggest simp, my boyfriend is the biggest simp, where like we always want to be with each other.
A simp should always be with a simp. I feel like if you end up with someone who doesn't understand it, they're just going to be like, listen, this is too much for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
But the other Hinge dates, Aryana, that you went on, did you ever have a bad experience with any of the dates?
Not like bad in any like negative way. I think the worst was that we just didn't get along and then we never met again. Like that was like the vibe.
Have you ever ghosted anyone after?
Yeah, I think I have, in the sense of like, yeah, I think I have. Not so much after meeting them, but like in like texting people and then, you know, you get like, okay, I don't want to be with this person and you're like, how do I say I don't want to continue it? And I think early on I was just like, oh, I don't know how to like end this. So I would just like stop texting back.
Yeah, like, and also sometimes it's like you don't want to be mean and like send them like a very formal text being like, hey, it's not working for me, etc., etc. It's like the silence is sort of like the answer.
Sure, but I will say that anytime someone has ghosted me, it's been really bad. And anytime someone has sent me a text saying, hey, it's not working out also, like that's also been shit, but I feel like that's
like
better.
rejection, proper rejection.
It is rejection 100%, and I am like...
And your ego is bruised and you're just, you
Fully.
want to like a tangent of like, am I good enough? Has this person ghosted me?
Fully. No, fully. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But you're taking on this new like chapter of your life, of this like podcast and things like that. Like, what is something that you're most looking forward to in this journey, and something, and like a person you really would love to like speak to, like your goal guest?
So I've started this mainly to just talk to people I find interesting. It's got nothing to do with likes or followers or people knowing me, nothing like that. It's just I'm a yapper. I love yapping, and I would love to yap with people I personally find interesting. So it's not about, okay, I have to get like XYZ person. But if I had to pick one person and get them, I think I would get Ranveer Alabadia.
Oh, yes.
And I would love to know about like his journey and like, you know, how he made it big and this whole controversy that happened.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, how does it feel after? And
after being gone through that,
gone through that. I don't know if you saw his podcast with like Tara Sataria.
No, I didn't.
But even she spoke so beautifully on his podcast, and she spoke about the Mercury retrograde, and she spoke about heartbreak, and she spoke about a lot of real things which I think we're going through.
Of course.
And also I feel like people on podcasts don't really talk about real things.
Really? I think you just have to find the right podcast.
Find the right podcast.
Yeah.
Because I feel like most of it usually is scripted. So my point is I want to create something very real and raw. Where, you know, you actually say like things like, okay, if I'm having anxiety, I'm having anxiety. Or if I'm having a low day, I'm having a low day. Or stuff like that. Because I feel like that's very real for all of us.
100%.
Especially in your 20s.
100%.
Because you're figuring so many things out.
Literally. Fully agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Aryana, you recently started your own podcast called Claydate.
Yeah.
So what is it all about?
So Claydate is basically a show on my YouTube channel, which is basically me and a guest doing pottery together and like talking. And the whole reason I picked pottery was basically because anytime I've been for like pottery classes or anything,
I really want to do one of those.
You should. It's really calming. And so I realized that when you're doing it, it's so like calming and therapeutic that you just have the best conversations with the people you're around. So I was like, this could be a great like show format. And my boyfriend actually was like, hey, this could be like a cool thing you could do on your YouTube channel as like your own thing.
But he's so encouraging of all of this, which is great.
Like so encouraging. He always like is giving me ideas and things, and he's like, you should do this and you should do that and you should call this person. And he was like, if you call Virat Kohli on your show, I'll like come down. And I was like, okay.
Everyone's a Virat Kohli fan.
I was like,
if you're ever getting Virat Kohli, I'm coming.
Of course, everyone is coming. But Virat Kohli, I DM'd him. He like did not text me back.
So that's the thing with people, like you DM them, they usually don't respond.
Of course. And Virat Kohli, I wasn't expecting also that he would get back.
But it's okay, you shoot your shot.
You shoot your shot. So I basically had this idea and I was like, okay, cool. I knew Batul from this, she has a own studio called It's Therapeutic. She actually went to school with us, not with us, but like she was a little older than us.
Okay, JB Pettit girl too.
Yeah. And so I'd been for a few of her workshops in the past. So I was like, okay, I can reach out to her and, ask her to like help me with this. And she was fully on board. So we filmed it at her studio. I got a camera crew and like an editor. And essentially, I just like got guests from people who I met through having said that. And just random people who I knew on Instagram. And I just reached out to everyone, and the 6 people who replied to me, they are the ones who were on the show. And they were honestly like amazing guest list, like dream cast or whatever. And it was so much fun to film it, to do it. and I think it was received really well for my first like proper thing.
I really enjoyed it. I watched a bunch of your recent reel shots.
Yeah.
And it looked a lot of fun. And the thing was, because you all are doing something, it also looked like you all are crazily at ease. So whatever you all are talking about,
exactly,
just seems very easy and free flowing. I agree with that.
So yeah.
And who did you enjoy the most with out of the ones that you've shot?
Well, honestly, everyone was amazing. I filmed with Sakshi Shivdasani, who I love.
She's so much fun.
She's literally amazing. So I'm friends with her, so it was really easy to film with her, and she was really great. Then obviously I had Karima, who's also like amazing, so funny. I had Alia Kashyap, who I like have watched on YouTube forever, and she was, I think, it was my first time meeting her when I filmed with her, but she was so chill, so fun, so like giving in her like stories and things like that, so it was amazing. And then I had Sherry Shroff, who again, like I feel like I like met her, like kind of met her here and there, spoken to her on Instagram, but like never really like hung out with her. This was my first time hanging out with her. She was amazing, just like constantly yapping. Sheena was my like another guest of mine, who I've again met through the podcast, had on podcast before, and met at all these influencer events, and she's always so lovely, and she's just such a fun like person, so it was really nice to have her on as well. So honestly, it's been really nice to like have all these guests and have people come and show up for you, right? Like I'm sure you've also like are experiencing that, when people just take time out of their lives and like
absolutely, you feel so grateful, because I feel like when you're starting something, it's so hard to get people on.
Yeah.
Because I feel like people don't trust you yet. Like they're like, okay, 100%. She's starting something, you know, like should we not? You don't have that sort of crazy following yet. And I think a lot of people go by the following.
Of course, and like proof of concept, right? Like now you've done this, now once you start putting it out, I'm sure people will see it and be like, oh yeah, cool, like this is something
that, you know,
I could do.
So I feel like initially when people are giving you a shot, it feels really nice. Like even you coming here and doing this feels really nice.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, because I've been watching your content, Aryana, for like a while, especially the Having Said That show.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
I'm so glad. And honestly, that means a lot, because obviously I think when you're filming all these things, you don't realize that people are really watching it. Like you look at it and you'll be like, oh, I only got 100 views, and you'll be like, oh, that sucks or whatever, or like 1,000 views or 10,000 views, and then it becomes this numbers game where you're like, oh, are people watching this, that? But the truth is that if 100 people showed up here in your house, you'd be like,
I think it's the same case with likes. Like I feel like sometimes you post something and you get like 100 or 200 likes and you're like, oh my god, this is less.
Yeah.
You know, and then you think about it and you're like, if those many people actually in your house telling you they like you, it would be a different narrative.
Literally. And so I think that's kind of the mindset shift I've had, where it's not so much about like, oh, how many people liked it or it only got 100 likes. I think I'm framing it in a way that this is so exciting to be able to do
it, yeah,
and
absolutely. But initially, was it something that you cared about, or did you get stuck on the number game?
100%. I think if you're doing this all the time, you do get stuck in this like rigmarole of like, oh, I only got this many views or this many likes and all of that. But I think the truth is that consistency is like key in this business. And so if you're just constantly posting, even if you're getting 100 likes on every post or 100 views on every post, right? Slowly, because you're so consistent, people will watch, people will come back, the algorithm will push your content. It's all about just staying consistent.
And were you scared of judgment when you initially started? Like, will people judge me for starting something like this, or will they wonder why I'm doing this?
Yeah, I guess I did. So I think with the podcast, it was really easy to go on board because it's with 4 other people. So it's not only me alone, right? So it's always like, okay, yeah, if someone is hating on this, if someone is judging this, I'm sharing that, you know, with other people. So that was really easy, yeah. But I think when I started my YouTube channel, I think being a YouTuber was always like my dream, and having my own YouTube channel where I would post, because I loved watching them, like YouTubers, since I was a child. So that was always something that I really like dreamed of and wanted to do. But like starting that, I was so scared to do, because I was like, exactly what you said. Oh, people will watch, they won't like it won't be good enough.
Yeah, or they'll like judge you for starting something and God forbid it, like, you know, for some reason doesn't catch on, then they'll be like, oh, why was this person wasting his or her time?
Yeah, like, oh, failure, this, that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, honestly, it doesn't matter what other people think of something you do. I really wanted to do it. I finally like built up the courage. I literally like posted 3 videos and I didn't promote it or anything. They got like literally 100 views each. And I was like, I just wanted to get into that habit of like posting and putting that content out there. And I was like, I just need to like press publish, you know what I mean? And then when I started talking about it and when I started telling people and posting on my Instagram about it, people were only like supportive and amazing. And even if they're hating, right, I'm not hearing that. Like, they're not coming and telling me, they're just talking to their friends and like probably maybe sending the link or whatever. But that's all engagement, right? People watching is people viewing. And
has it made you like more thick-skinned than you were?
For sure, I think I take things a lot less like to heart, because I'm just like, it's fine. I think what I told you earlier, you can't take like the good stuff to heart and you can't take
Like
the
bad
stuff
stuff as well.
Because these people, like, no one who's watching you for a few hours a week like knows who you are. They know a part of your life, they know maybe a part of your personality, but just because like we're here laughing, having the best time, doesn't mean that, like, you know, whatever, we don't have problems in our lives.
Problems in our lives, absolutely. I feel like that's another thing that people feel, that they're watching a part and they think that part is great and they think that's your entire being.
Exactly.
And as Aryana Dalal at this point, what was your checklist in a boy? Like, what were the things that were like non-negotiable?
I had like a long checklist, bro. Like, my checklist was never ending, I feel. I feel like I just wanted, but at the end of the day, I think just wanted a nice guy who like is obsessed with me.
I mean, that's what everyone wants, absolutely.
Who I think is like, you know, funny and sweet and kind, and I think who just wants to take care of me.
And has like got your back. I feel like when so many things are happening, you just want someone to like protect you and take care of you and pamper you.
100%.
And boys act like divas themselves nowadays. So half the time they are only like expecting pampering and care and concern.
Yeah.
But your checklist, you feel, did it reduce after you met the person that you did?
No, I think I had this checklist, and because we were friends also, like in the like 2 years that I guess we didn't talk or weren't dating or whatever, we were friends, and in that time I feel like we got to know each other's like dating lives and who we were interested in, and he was dating someone and I was dating
you all went through that phase where you were also dating someone and he was also dating someone.
And in those times I think I would like always like talk to him and be like, oh, this guy did this and I hate men and this and that, and I think he saw me through all those phases. So when he started dating me, I think he was like, okay, like I know kind of, I feel like what I'm getting into,
and I know like the other person's trigger points and what they've gone through and all that.
Yeah, but I think like, have you ever dated someone who you were friends with before, like you dated a best friend type thing?
Yeah, but I don't think that worked out for me, at least.
Yeah,
because I feel like when it doesn't
work
out, and it doesn't work out, you lose your best friend and you lose
your like
in one
partner,
shot, which is a problem. I anyway hate breakups, and it takes me a very long time to even like someone and date someone, and then for some reason if it doesn't work out, I feel like I'm the kind of person who can like sit and sob over it for months.
Yeah.
So at this point, I've become very like picky with my time, and I'm like, you know, if the other person isn't giving or isn't that involved, I'd rather not and work
100%
on my own thing still.
100%. And I think the best, so I was like dating people, but I've always been single. You know, like I've not really dated anyone, like not been boyfriend and girlfriend with anyone really till now. And so I think for me a big part of it was that I think I always cried about like, oh, I don't have a boyfriend, I just want a boyfriend. But when the boys would come, I'd be like, no, like this is not it.
You're not. Yeah.
And I think that what happens in this thing is you know what they say? Like, oh, the right person will come when you're just focusing on yourself, or when your love will come when you're not looking for it. I think those are all such true things.
I hope so.
Yeah. And I think if you're just focusing on yourself and working on your own thing and working on making yourself, I guess, your dream partner,
absolutely,
then your dream partner like manifests, honestly. I feel that.
Do you feel like you manifested him to a certain extent, or do you think you just went with the flow and it just happened?
I like always liked him. Like from the moment I met him, I like knew like this is someone special in my life. And I like kept like, that's why I was like friends with him and all also, because I was like, even if we're not dating, I like just want to have you in my life, because I felt like he just understood me so well. And I was like, this is the person I want in my life with me.
Yeah, I think, and also sometimes you're like, okay, if this person's a great person, irrespective of whether it's working out with this person or no, I would still want them in my life, just because they're a nice person.
Yeah, 100%.
So when you say you were not boyfriend, girlfriend, were you in any situationships?
Of course.
Those are the worst, no?
They are the worst.
Because you don't know where you're at with the other
Literally.
person.
And also I think you want it to be more, at least I wanted it to be more, but the other person is not sure. I heard this thing which is so true, that in a situationship, one person is scared of commitment and one person has low self-esteem.
I 100% think that's true.
Yeah. And so that is the situationship ka dynamic. And I think I was always, I think, the one, for the most part, I think, who just had low self-esteem and who was just like, oh, I can't do better, or like this might be the person for me. But actually that's not true. Like actually I think that there's lots of people in your life who you could date and get along with and be with
actually
forever.
I think the theory with situationships is because the other person isn't committing to you, there is an excitement in you proving your own self-worth to yourself, being like, okay, I'm going to get this person to commit to me, and then I'll feel like I've achieved something. But I think when you meet someone, it should be easy. It should not require so much extra effort.
I don't think you should like have to prove yourself so much to someone else to be like, hey, look at me, I'm this and that, like love me or whatever. Like it should
please
just be
love
like,
me.
It should just be like, hey, this is who I am. Love
this
me,
is what I have to
like,
offer.
Literally.
And this is the baggage I come with.
Yeah.
And I also feel like our generation, like half the time, we girls, if someone is very fuckboyish, we're attracted to that, and usually that ends up becoming a situationship. Because the other person doesn't want to commit, they want to keep their options open and they want to leave you hanging because you're also one of the options. Has that ever happened?
What ever happened?
Like you've ever ended up in a weird space with like some fuckboyish type guy?
Honestly, like, no, because I also, like with any guy that I'm even in a situationship with, I always want to have some vibe of like, oh, they like me. You know, and I feel like a fuckboy's whole thing is like, oh, like super nonchalant, super not interested. And so I'm just like, okay, whatever. You know.
Not interested anymore.
Yeah.
I love reading.
So like, what are the books that you're reading? I just recently read a book which was, it was really good. It's this series called The Housemaid series. Have you heard of it?
Not at all.
It's so good. It's gonna be a movie like now.
Actually, you know, Aryana, the thing with me is I read really boring books.
What books do you read?
So I'll read about like Indra Nui's life, and I will read about Sudha Murthy's life, and I will read about like all these autobiographies like Michelle Obama and all of that. And I feel like all of those are mainly, I find autobiographies very exciting.
Interesting. What's the favorite book that you've read?
I think the Indra Nui book and the Sudha Murthy and Narayan Murthy's life book.
Interesting.
Because they started from scratch. And then they grew the empire, and now today they're so big.
Yeah.
But their core value system is the same, like loyalty, warmth, no showing off, they're not loud. There's an elegance in the way they function. Which sort of books do you enjoy? But I also read nonsense, like Fault in Our Stars and those romance novels.
Of course, I think we all like went through that phase of reading like teen, like
Two States also, Chetan Bhagat, such rubbish books.
I love all these like books, and I think for me, I've been like, when I was like 14, 15, I think I was so into reading because I started reading because of fan fictions. So I don't know if you've ever like gotten into that yourself, but I used to read on this app called Wattpad.
Okay.
And it was basically just like fan fiction about like One Direction members.
I was such a huge Zayn Malik fan back then.
Same. I feel like I still am a fan of all of them. So I like was in love and obsessed with this One Direction. Like I thought I was gonna marry all of them and whatever. So I used to
All of us
these,
have been delusional in that sense.
bro, fully. And so I used to read these fan fictions about them, and then I graduated from there to like books that are about like love and teen romance. Like
I used to read so
Fault
many
in Our
of
Stars and all.
those.
And I think then slowly I kind of stopped reading and I just got out of that habit. And now slowly I've been getting into it. So Sakshi actually, she's a big reader and she recommended this Housemaid series to me. So I've read the first 2 books, but they've both been insanely amazing. And I've just been hooked from first page to like the last like word.
Yeah.
And I finished them in like a few hours or like a few days.
I'm the
And
same person. I'll get stuck with a book and I think I will finish it over like 3 days.
Literally. And so that happened with me with this Housemaid series, and I was like, it's so fun to like have a book that you're like obsessed with.
Absolutely.
Because then everything else kind of like,
And you don't need
vanishes
company.
and go, yeah.
Like recently I was reading this book when I was traveling. It's about a Saudi princess's real life.
Yeah.
So about how she has like all the material possessions in her life and she has everything, but there's like no freedom. They still have to like cover up, they have to marry who they have to marry and all of that. And I think I compulsively read that book and finished it so fast, like at
what's it
ram rack
called?
speed. It's called The Saudi Princess.
Okay, I love that. Like I love like stuff like that. And I think, when you read, it opens your mind up so much. I know everyone says it like reading is like the best out of education, because obviously experiences of other people's lives, you would never have that opportunity to like experience, right? So I think you just learn from their mistakes and their lessons, which is so amazing and so much fun.
And also because like I'm a dreamer, I feel like when I read a book, I am imagining everything that's happening in the book at the same time.
100%.
So I've cut off from my life and I have sort of, even if I'm on a flight, sometimes I can read like 7 hours straight.
Literally.
Once there was the cabin crew came to me and he was like, what is this book you're reading? Because you're so invested in it, I want to know.
That's insane.
So I was like, yeah, this is how I read. Like I can just spend a day reading.
That's amazing.
So my solo trips are mainly because I want to just be at peace on my own, read, walk around. Yeah. Sometimes my parents judge me also. They're like, yeah, you went on a trip. You're alone. You're reading and you're chilling at these coffee shops. Like, what's happening? Are you okay? But I think a good book does that to you.
Yeah, and there's nothing better than a good book, honestly.
Absolutely. I finished the Saudi one. I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah, I would love to. Honestly, that sounds amazing.
But it's a little dark, so you have to like stop and then...
I'm honestly so into do that and so into read. Like,
absolutely. So Aryana, if you had to pick between love, career and health, if you could only have one of the 3, what would you pick?
Oh, what an interesting question. I think health is wealth, honestly. And so if you have health, then you can't, if you don't have health, you can't enjoy your career or your love life or like anything honestly in the world. So like health is obviously like my pick in all of these things.
And since you enjoy traveling so much, if you had to pick any destination in the world next and take a trip there, where would you go?
Oh, I think like honestly anywhere in the world I'm like interested in going. I love like the idea of going to like Europe and like
Italy.
Literally like some Italian vacation or like Switzerland. I would love to go. Actually,
Switzerland is a little slower though.
I know, I've heard.
Everything shuts at like 8. You mostly have like all these retired older people around. So when I was planning it with my friend, we were confused between Italy and Switzerland. And then finally we were like, okay, I was not getting my Schengen and it got rejected. So then finally Switzerland had got my Swiss. So we were like, we'll do it. And she gave me so much shit on the trip because she's like, this is so boring. We could have just done Italy.
Yeah, Italy is like amazing, I'm sure. So I would definitely want to go to Italy I would love to go back to France. I really enjoyed like Nice and all those like coastal.
I really want to do all of that.
So I would definitely do that again. And then obviously my boyfriend lives in New York, so I would love to go to New York again anytime. But yeah, like maybe more places in the US because I've only been to New York and Las Vegas.
I really want to do Boston. I really want to do Chicago.
Yeah,
all
and
of
those
that.
are all like very like doable cities.
Especially in New York, I think Boston is just like a car ride.
Yeah, literally, it's like I think a couple of hours away.
And since you love New York so much, which are the 2 places you would hands down recommend everyone should go to?
Oh, I think everyone should go to the West Village and go to like do a pizza tour. So like eat all the pizzas in the West Village. Like there's Linde Street, there's Mama Stew.
It all sounds so good.
There's Prince Street Pizza. I'm sure there's some that I'm forgetting. Bleecker Street. So you just go and you have a slice at every place. So that way you're like getting the best of all of them. And so I think that's a definite must do. You should definitely like walk around West Village. I love West
Even
Village.
I love West Village. I think it's one of the most, I prefer it over like Manhattan Ave.
Oh bro, 100%. Like it's just so nice. It's like, it feels nicer. The buildings are not like sky high. So it's all
really
like,
pretty.
Yeah, it's
and they have
fun.
like all these coffee shops because I'm such a coffee junkie.
Yeah.
When I went, I would overdo it and have like 5-6 coffees in the day because I was like, I want to try this and I want to try this and I want to try this. And it would like give me jitters.
I'm sure.
Because so much caffeine.
Yeah, decaf is like, should be your best friend.
And there they have it also properly.
Yeah.
So pizza recommendations.
Pizza, I think is like, you have to go and have that. But also like burgers, underrated in New York. You should definitely go to like Hamburger America. It's like my favorite spot. It's damn good.
So Italy is on your list.
Yeah, I would love to go to honestly like if anyone says like, hey, let's take a trip, I'm like the first person to say yes, let's go. But like I'm in this weird space in my life where I'm like trying to save money and like trying to like, you know, stay in Bombay and like work on my career and things like that. So I'm just like, okay, maybe like traveling is not the best thing, but I'm always stuck in this thing of I want to travel, but I also want, like, because you're young and you have no responsibilities.
And also the energy that we have, I feel like right now we can do like really long flights and we're not going to be that exhausted.
Yeah.
But I don't know about like 20 years later.
That's so fair.
That's not the case.
But I think it's literally like this weird thing of balancing like traveling and living life and then also like working on your career and building something of your own. You know how everyone's like hustle, do whatever.
The hustle culture.
Yeah, and so it's like this thing of like, should I enjoy or should I be slogging, and how do I balance both? Because obviously either one is like...
Have you ever felt overwhelmed because you're juggling work plus the podcast plus your personal life?
Yeah, honestly, I definitely go through days of feeling a little overwhelmed. But I think what keeps me going, honestly, is just the feeling of like, okay, yeah, this is like what I always wanted to do, you know. And I think it's all about just prioritizing things in different parts of your life and different times of your life. So maybe right now my career is more important, and then another time my relationship is more of my priority, and you know, so on and so forth. So I think it's all about just prioritizing, and I would say 5 out of 10 times I get it wrong. So I'm also just like trying to figure like, okay, what's good for me, what's not, what's important, what's not. And I guess you just like fail and you learn, and it's fun.
And it's fun, absolutely. Yeah. Have any of the boys ever hit on you on or off camera?
No, they have not. And I have this like very like strict rule that I've always had, and it's just that you should never date anyone that you work with.
Why is that? Isn't that better?
No, it is 100% not good. I think you should never mix those two things. I think it really complicates things. And I think especially in corporate cultures is where, like, I used to work in a lot of corporate jobs, so I think in those structures, if you like fall in love with your colleague or like your boss or whoever, I think it really messes up the power dynamics.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think it's definitely, you should avoid it. There's lots of people in the world. There's lots of people to date. You should just be with those people.
Got it. Perfect. Aryana, it was so nice having you here today. I met you after so long, after school, and it was so nice of you to take our time and come here.
Of course.
I really appreciate it.
Bro, of course. It was so nice to meet you. And I think, like you said earlier, it just feels like no time has passed in school, but also so much time has passed and we are so different. But
we're so different.
I think that bond of like growing up with someone and like side by side, I think it just really sticks, you know. There's something to say about
Absolutely.
it. Okay.
Thank
it was
you.
so nice to be here, honestly.
Same,
I'm so happy.
same. Thank you.
Thank you.